Good afternoon, day one, outdoor retailer here, the Swan Song, Salt Lake City. My name is Scott Oshman. I'm with the Caron Company out of Seattle, Washington. We're a multi-brand rep agency, been there for 20 years, been in this industry. And we handle the Pacific Northwest Territory, 5 states. And we also have a dedicated Amazon team that does nothing but Amazon and e-commerce all day. Real quick about me, I started out as a sub-rep in Seattle, working with multiple brands and calling on specialty outdoor and all kinds of channels for 8 years. Then got some experience in key account, worked for big brands, little brands, all kinds of brands. So my perspective when I talk about Amazon Adapt or Die is very much from the small retailer aspect as well as where the brand sits. And it's a very hot topic, and I first want to, that kind of gives you the sense of me, right? I've been dealing and working with, working with Amazon for 11 years. The past 11 years, over 50 brands or so in multiple different categories. So, and I'm fascinated by them because they're one of the most interesting companies if you get inside, and that's what I'm going to try to do today is tell you a little bit about the mindset if you're not familiar, if you don't live inside the world of Amazon, how they think about things. I want to ask you guys, how many retailers do we have here? We're mostly retailers. And raise your hands, how many have already been on Amazon, have a store or a marketplace on Amazon? Okay, not very many, not very many. Without asking you specifically if you're happy or sad about your experience, we'll go into that later. This picture look familiar? How many Prime members do we have in the house today? Boom, almost everybody. Anybody's house looks like this where they got deliveries with Amazon on them? A lot of head shakes, yes. I'm going to set this up in a couple ways. It is about Amazon Adapt or Die because I do feel passionately for the little guy, the small guy, the brand. You have to know how they think. You have to understand. I'm not here to tell you whether Amazon is the right place for your business. You know your business better than I do. I'm going to give you some things to think about. Whether it is or it isn't, there's a paradigm shift going on. It started a long time ago, and it's been going, and there's a lot of buzz, and you read about it. But what's happening is all of a sudden, for 100 years, manufacturers, brands, they had to control what product, where, how it looked, and what it cost. Well, because of technology, the internet, and because Amazon, and because of price matching tools, all of a sudden the paradigm shift is the consumer is driving so much of what, where, how, and how much, how much, right? Isn't that the frustrating part? Brand control, price control. So there's a huge shift, and brands and manufacturers struggles with that, and same thing with retailers. The other big paradigm shift I think is going on is you're seeing, the threat of direct-to-consumer. So the paradigm shift is brands are becoming retailers, and retailers are having to become brands. I'm going to let that marinate a little bit, and we're going on next. So there are 2 big paradigm shifts that I want to set up. The other thing is, I don't know where y'all are from. I know I live in, what I call Crane City right now. It's a boomtown, Seattle, fastest growing city, and I live in the Amazon world, and I live in that. I don't know if everybody around here thinks, oh, it's not going to take my business. It's not going to hurt me. Raise your hand if Amazon has had an effect on your business in any way. There's a lot of hands up. I'm here to tell you, if Amazon's for you or not, you got to adapt to what is going on because there is a whole different reality happening with how people buy things, which is the next slide, the new path to purchase. For years and years, marketers knew how this worked. They put ads in. They did the right things. They knew. Millennials, the 80 million, the largest buying power, marketers are freaking out because they can't figure out how to talk to them, how to get them in the path to purchase. The hard thing for a brand, hard thing for a small retailer, big retailer is, where do I catch them? Do I catch them in the beginning, on the phone, in the store? The omni-channel? Super fun to say, really hard to do. So this is like one of the biggest questions that face not only this industry, every type of business, is the path to purchase. How do I get that customer? Oh, is this a friend or is this a foe, retailers? This is the Holy Grail, the phone. I don't have to tell you big numbers. I don't have to fluff and tell you all this big stuff. We all live it. The phone is everything. It starts it, it ends it, it's research, it's the Google machine. If you aren't aware of what's going on with your store or with your customer on the phone, look into it. Because that is the gateway. So the phone, I just want to tell everybody, if you're not understanding how the phone looks, if you have listings, whether you're direct-to-consumer, e-com, your retail site, whatever it is, go test it on the phone. How does it look? How does it scroll? And it also is the frictionless or the friction device. How many people out there going to do something, and when it takes them longer and they can't get it, it's not navigating, and they're just so frustrated? For that 80 million and above, whatever generation, I'm the same way. I hate it. Guess what? Amazon's pretty good at it. Not to mention they have 240 million customers. Their payment plan, they exactly know how their credit cards are. They're already set up. That's why the friction and the frictionless and the phone is so key to you guys being successful, whether you're on Amazon or not, because it's too dang easy to just buy stuff and have it there in 2 days. So you got to adapt. Okay, I just wanted to set that up, because if you're not thinking about these things, listening to podcasts, reading, talking to people, inquiring, you got to change your mentality. Now to the beast. Oh, the beast. I'm going to tell you very quickly, and you've probably read a lot of this stuff. When I say they're customer obsessed, I mean they are like beyond. I can't use the word Uber anymore, but it is so obsessed. Everything they do starts with the consumer. So I challenge everybody, which is difficult to do in our day-to-day small business, think from the consumer and then back. That's what they do. And you know what? It's worked out. The next thing. Jeff Bezos. Anybody ever heard this? When you're dealing with Amazon and you're thinking about either working with them or you're navigating around them, you have to understand customer obsession and your margin is his opportunity or their opportunity. CEO, founder of Amazon. Remember, your margin, which you are working your tails off to get, right, is his opportunity. I already know there's a lot of Prime. What if I told you Amazon Prime is not really about the huge revenue dollar? What would you say to that? Think I'm nuts? It's not. Yes, it's nice because of 99, now it's 107, I heard. Now they have $9.99 plans. Latest numbers are 65 million U.S. consumers are Prime households. I've seen reports and various things, it's up to 85. I'm telling you, it's going to be at 100 million U.S. consumers are going to be Prime members, Prime households. That's going to eclipse the cable households. It's part of the flywheel. Because once it's a game mechanic. Once he gets you in and you're a Prime member, you got to have it, right? He's delivered a promise. You got to have the Prime. Now it's Prime Music, Prime Video, Prime everything he's producing. This is part of the Trojan horse. Same with Alexa and the Echo system. Understanding Prime is huge. Right now, you have to be Prime. Any listing you're going to be on Amazon.com, if it's not Prime, it's going to have a tougher time. The other big key. Anyone want to guess what this, I got 55% up there. Anybody else want to guess what this is? Where to U.S. consumers, where do they start their search? 55%. I bet this is going to be 65% when we get through holiday. So imagine 65% of your customers and your potential customers, where are they starting? They're starting at Amazon. And I can tell you internal numbers, more and more they're starting on their phone. And they might be in your store. That's mind-boggling. You got to deal with that. Path to purchase. Remember, path to purchase? Well, if I'm starting 65, 55, or 65% starting, where's the path to purchase? It's right there. You want to be part of that? Could be interesting. What I'm saying is, it's coming whether you like it or not. I talk to a lot of people and say, you know what, I'm going to be fine. You might be fine. But if you don't understand the beast and understand what you're going to do with it and what's right for you, you will get caught up in that. So let's go to two things. How many of you guys are like, you know what, I don't want to put my store, the products on the Amazon platform. No Amazon for me. Anybody feeling like that? Anybody tried it, gotten burnt? So what I tell everybody is, that's fine, but you still got to adapt. 2008, a lot of taxi cabs. You're going to get run over. Couple things that I think specialty retailers are doing a great job, and I support this, and I think it's a great idea. If there are brands that are not on Amazon. Now, when I say not on Amazon, I mean not on Amazon. That means the brand doesn't sell direct. Okay, but go on your phone and search an item. When a brand says I'm not on Amazon, it's, first of all, you should tip your hat because that's very hard to do. And there are some great case studies and great brands out there in this hall that are doing an awesome job. I respect that. I'm with it. Will it last forever? Who knows? Buy them. You're a specialty retailer. Go do those brands. The game mechanic, Prime. Why is Candy Crush so popular? You don't win anything. You don't get money. You've got to have a game mechanic, meaning you've got to have some type of psychological retail way where I want to keep coming back, a loyalty into your store. That's what Amazon does. That's what e-com, that's what a lot of the big brands do. Dynamic pricing. I got an idea. I mean, I can check any stock price right now to the real-time minute on my phone. Why can't I come into a retail store and see an item, and if it's listed on Amazon or anywhere else, why can't I see the real-time price? And I can set the parameters. There's a million repricing tools and all kinds of technology that's cost-effective. That's just a brainstorm idea. I'm just putting it out there. But that's what the consumer expects, because when you go in the store, right, they're sitting on their phone checking the price. So why not be proactive? Reviews. Biggest key that, again, the paradigm shift is the reviews, right? I have suggested to small retailers, you don't have to name Amazon, put under the shoe shelf or on the product 2,500 4.5 stars reviews and put the greatest little comment that you feel speaks to that product. Why not? They're looking there anyway. Why not draft off that wave? Social. I talked about the phone. 214 million Facebook users. Their advertising is through the roof. If you don't understand how to drive traffic to your store, site, wherever, getting that path to purchase, go talk to somebody about how you activate a social program. It's cost effective. The targeting is incredible. Geo, it's fantastic. Social. Tie in the social. Everybody's like, this is great, Scott, but how do I do this? How do I actually do it? You want to dabble? I'm a big fan of dabbling, just checking it out slow, you know. I'm going to tell you a story about Swain's General Store in Port Angeles, Washington, the peninsula. Great people. Since 1957. Talked to Mike Mudd, general manager there. Yeah, I'm thinking about it. I said, Mike, come on, you're a great merchant. I think I'll help you do this. One store, Port Angeles. Anybody's store, they're a general merchant. They have outdoor, they have the finest brands, they have a hardware store, they're a general merchandise. Any kind of stores like that here? Thousands and thousands of SKU, an old POS system. How do I do it? First year, he added $65,000 of additional revenue, and he did it with the same inventory. He didn't do anything that different. He didn't go hire a team of 5 people. They barely have an e-com site, but they know what you guys know. And this is what I'm constantly telling people. You guys are merchants. You understand what goes where. Never be out of the small stuff. What's unique. You understand how to make your money on the buy. You understand when to promote, when not. That is a lost art, my friends. And if you take those principles and apply it on the platform, This is what happens. He had an item. It's the Stampfield Union wool suit. It's $99.99. He's been buying it for years. It's for loggers. It's long underwear for loggers. He said, I can't find it anywhere on Amazon. Now, that doesn't mean it's going to sell. It's pop it up and just, you know. He took this item. It's actually one of his best sellers because it's unique, and he understands that. And guess what? He had a great buy on it. He did it with a couple of his shoes. He did it with other items. Slowly, very methodical, low risk, same inventory. He didn't buy for it, and he did it. Okay, that sounds great. I got some items I'm thinking of. It's just hard to do. It's hard to find the right item. It's hard to find an item that's not there or that you can win the buy box. You can make somebody click and buy it. Very difficult to do, not easy. How do you do it? Seller Central. Everybody can get their Google machines out right now, sellercentral.com. It's $39.95 a month. That's how easy it is to be on the Amazon Marketplace, right? I'm going to tell some high level how it works. The key is today, again, disclaimer, anything I say, I don't know everything, never claim to. It could change tomorrow. Fulfilled by Amazon, that is FBA. The reason that's important is because it's Prime eligible. You gotta be Prime, right? Path to purchase, 65 million, Prime FBA. The other good thing it does is, listen, I'm not a fulfillment center, I'm a retailer. I've been doing this, I don't have warehouses. You don't have to. This is how it works. And a lot of you can't see that up here, but you send your products to Amazon, to their fulfillment center, okay? Stuff you own. Amazon stores your product in there. You still own it. And you list that item. Customers come to Amazon.com. They purchase that item. And Amazon, like a third-party fulfillment center company, they pick and pack that product and they send it to the consumer. For many years and many people, they're buying stuff FBA, sold by Swain's, let's say, fulfilled by Amazon. They have no idea. Amazon ships to the customer. They handle a part of the return. That's why it's clean. You control the inventory. You send it there. You have visibility. Very nice way to do it. Takes a lot of the burden and infrastructure bandwidth off you. Then the next thing. You got an item, let's say. Now, let's say I took an item that was on the platform, okay? It's right there. You guys can Google it, find it. Fulfillment by Amazon Revenue Calculator. So if you have an item, you go, hey, it's, in this particular case, $65. Talk about the paradigm shift. This really is a $79.99 item. I pulled it yesterday. This is one of our brands we represent, by the way. Shh, don't tell them. $65 item, revenue, that's the retail. Amazon says, I will fulfill it, pick it, pack it, deal with it, ship it to the consumer. My cost, that's $19.77. You walk away, it's $45.23 on that one item. There's a million estimators. You can get complex with this. There's some other things. This is just the start of how I would approach this, okay? There's also, if an item isn't on the platform already, you can use a calculator to do that too. This little chart right here, I put 1. That's if it's fulfilled by the retailer. We don't want to deal with that. I can talk to you later about that. We don't want to deal with that. So everybody's sitting here going, well, this is awesome, Scott. Jeez, I was thinking about playing on Amazon. Sounded like a good idea. It sounds simple. Now I'm going to be $1 million retailer. Well, as I say, slow your roll because it's really not that easy. It's a saturated marketplace. Like I said, I do not want to oversell you guys that this is the greatest thing in boondoggle. It's very difficult. That's why there's hundreds and hundreds of great agencies, consultants, everybody who does this for you and helps you, including ours. Because you have to have a little strategery. You have to find somebody. You have to understand the beast a little bit. It's not rocket science, but you have to sit and think, how in my business, what's right for me? And if I do want to play on the platform, how do I do that with low risk? I'm using the inventory I already have. I'm using my merchant skills, And I want to open my door like Swain's did to 240 million customers and growing. It's a compelling proposition, is it not? And it might not be ready for everybody. And he did 65,000. He also doesn't have huge expectations, is not risking the farm that he's going to double it and triple it. It's a nice supplemental revenue flow in retail in a tough environment. What did we learn? First of all, it's not slowing down. I mean, they're buying planes, they're doing stuff. They're at every aspect of our business. It's crazy. I'm very fearful and excited at the same time. You got to decide what's right for your business. This might not be right for your business. We've got a gentleman over here who's done it, tried it. It's hard to be successful, and it's getting harder. People are now doing private label, which is if you mature into the platform and you have the understanding, you guys know your business and know products really, really well. There's no other time like today where you can actually manufacture your own private label, cost effective, easily, and bring it to market. That's one strategy. But you got to decide if it is. But my big thing to everybody, whether platform or not, is you got to embrace and start thinking of this whole thing, not brick and mortar, e-com, mobile, social buy buttons on this. It's the new retail, people. This is just how it is. We can't keep thinking like it's siloed here and siloed there. Omnichannel, that's a buzzword that just was made up. It's really the new retail or new commerce. That's what you have to position yourself to be successful for. And my last thing about Amazon, because remember, your margin, their opportunity. Well, flip the table, Jeff Bezos. Swain said, guess what? I'm going to make your customers my opportunity. And if you're thoughtful and you do it right and you have good, trusted people around you, you can do it slowly and nice, a little addition to your business. And you adhere to all the brand map policies, and you do everything you should do to be a great retail partner. I'm a huge, passionate supporter of that. I work with a lot of brands on developing map, reseller policies, trademark. It's a difficult time, people, for brands and for retailers. That's it. I don't know what my time is, but thank you. But I do want to say, does somebody want to, I mean, I might not be able to answer your question. Anybody have anything they want to ask, rant, rage? You want to yell at me, throw stuff? I'm fine. Yes, sir. Do you use the campaign manager in Amazon? Absolutely yes. This is I could talk to you about automatic or manual. So this is a targeting and an SEO. So within Amazon, the key to success, which by the way, Swain's in my little story, didn't even really get into yet, is just like you guys are trying to drive people to your store, you have to drive people to your listing. So automatic is what Amazon will generate based off page views, behavior patterns, right? The crazy cool, they know more about you than they should. The predictive, recommendations, all of those things. By the way, which is all available to you for very low cost of software. I'm just telling you. Automatic is what they do. It's good. If you can optimize and really get going and mature, then we do suggest in certain cases where you turn manual targeting and manual sponsored products on. But you got to understand the landscape you're going in and what you're competing and what you're trying to do. It's a cost per bid. It's a auction type policy. Another question? Amazon's choice is, again, a little black box that they're not really telling anybody how it happens. It's a lot through relevance, which is when you go to Amazon Shop, you can go price, relevance. Relevance is a huge key metric in the algorithm to where that item floats on top. The question to your end, and I've asked a lot of people who know a lot more than me and do billions of dollars, they don't know. It is part of Amazon's random choice. So people aren't paying to be Amazon choice. We've had a couple Amazon choice. It's awesome. Anything else? Thank you for your time. It's really high level. There's a lot to it. There's people that do nothing all day long, then run Amazon businesses for people. I encourage you to investigate it and to, again, I'm telling you, adapt, or I don't like what's next if you don't. Whether it's Amazon or not, this is the new world. Thank you very much for your time. Have a great OR.